Hello again. In this orientation video, we will be talking about our travel policies, including cell phone reimbursement, mileage reimbursement, meals and entertainment reimbursement, baggage and shipping reimbursement, and our travel booking policy. So grab some popcorn, sit back, and enjoy one of this year's top contenders for best orientation videos. All the travel policies discussed in this video can also be found in the Employee Handbook, which you can access through the Employee Resources portal. One rule of thumb for all travel expenses is that we ask you to spend every dollar as if it were your own. We want you to be comfortable, but we also need to watch our client's expense budget. Maetrics provides a monthly cellular phone allowance to all full-time employees for business calls. There are 2 levels of reimbursement you may receive. If you are a local employee, meaning you are working at a site near your home and do not routinely stay away overnight on business, then you will be reimbursed $50 each month, or the cost of your monthly plan, whichever is less. If you travel overnight on a regular basis, you will be reimbursed $100 each month, or the cost of your monthly plan, again whichever is less. Which category you fall into will be determined by Maetrics management. Each month, you need to submit a copy of your cellular provider's invoice and enter the amount in the expense entry area of the employee portal. Please note this should be entered under the administrative job code and not your client project. We don't bill these charges to our clients. Please be sure to send your receipt to expenses@maetrics.com for reimbursement. Next is our reimbursement policy for mileage driven by your personal vehicle. Maetrics reimburses IRS-qualified business transportation costs at the standard mileage rate or at a rate designated by Maetrics management. You enter mileage in the expense entry section of the Employee Resources portal. As you can imagine, there are quite a lot of complicated parameters regarding the eligibility of mileage reimbursement, but we will list them here for your convenience. Business transportation expenses are defined as costs incurred for business transportation between your tax home and temporary workplace, travel to a business meeting away from your regular workplace, and travel from one workplace to another in the course of your business. Local commuting travelers will be reimbursed for mileage to and from a temporary workplace that exceeds 50 miles each day, commute mileage. You may submit expense reports only for the miles driven over 50 miles in one day if you are a local commuter. Employees assigned to work at a Maetrics office are not eligible for any mileage reimbursement to or from their tax home. Overnight travelers that drive their personal vehicle to a temporary workplace and stay overnight do not need to deduct the 50-mile commute mileage amount from their total mileage on their expense report. The 50-mile reduction is also not applicable to the miles driven from your home to from an airport for overnight business travel. Personal vehicles should generally not be used for any business travel over 200 miles in one day unless you are staying at your destination for an extended period. Short-stay, long-distance driving should generally be done using rental vehicles to minimize cost. Mileage reimbursement will be limited to the lesser of the current Maetrics mileage reimbursement rate or the daily cost of a mid-size rental car plus gas, assuming 25 miles per gallon. That should answer any questions you might have regarding the mileage policy. If you would like any further details, please refer to your Employee Handbook or flag down a friendly IRS agent in the street. Now we'll look at the policies for reimbursement for meals and entertainment. If you travel overnight for business, Maetrics may provide a per diem allowance for meals and incidental expenses. The amount of this allowance is established at the sole discretion of Maetrics management and is usually based upon your travel destination. There are 2 basic reimbursement levels. Full day. This is the rate you will get reimbursed if you begin and end your day on the road. And partial day, this rate is equal to 75% of the full day rate and applies to your first day of travel and any travel day when you return home before 7 p.m. The meals and incidental per diem applies only to travel requiring overnight stays and is designed to cover all meals, groceries, laundry, dry cleaning, valet services, tipping, etc. while traveling overnight for business. As with other travel expenses, you record per diem allowances in the Web Time and Expense system by selecting the job number followed by the appropriate per diem expense code for your travel location. Please ensure you use the code for the appropriate level of per diem, full day or partial day. The dollar amount will automatically be filled in by the system. What's that? Someone bought you lunch? Well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is someone else is paying, so order the lobster. The bad news is we don't reimburse for something you didn't pay for, so you need to submit this as a partial day per diem instead of a full day. We know, sometimes you have to pick up the check. which means it's not the time for this. In fact, it requires pre-approval by Maetrics management and is reimbursable primarily for sales and relationship-building efforts with clients and prospects. To be reimbursed for pre-approved meals and entertainment, select the Meal with Guest code, then enter a brief description including the guest and client and the amount of the expense. Check with your supervisor as to the appropriate job code. These costs are typically not billable to the client. After submitting the expense online, you must forward a copy of the receipt to the corporate office at expenses@maetrics.com. These expenses will not be reimbursed without the required receipts. Since these expenses are also regulated by the IRS, there are lots of specifics and restrictions, so please refer to the Employee Handbook. When you travel overnight, we want you to be comfortable and feel like you're home. But you can't take everything from home with you. Here are our policies regarding baggage and shipping fees. For baggage fees, we will reimburse you for the cost of up to 2 bags. We do not reimburse for overweight or oversized bag charges, so please plan and pack accordingly. Note, sitting on the suitcase may help you get it closed, but it doesn't reduce the weight. Occasionally, you may need to ship items or equipment to or from your client location. We reimburse you for your reasonable ground shipping fees. Any method other than ground shipping must be pre-approved by management. You will record your baggage and shipping expenses in the expense entry system like other expenses. Simply select the miscellaneous expense code and put either baggage fees or shipping expenses in the comment box. Then enter the dollar amount and send your detailed receipt to expenses@maetrics.com. Finally, some policies regarding travel booking. Like all travel expenses, we expect you to choose the most reasonable and economical of available options. If you're required to travel for business, you are required to make your arrangements through the Maetrics official travel agent if you wish to be reimbursed. All tour can be accessed by going to myclickbook.com, and when you book your flight there, it will be billed directly to Maetrics. In case of after-hours travel emergencies, such as weather delays, flight cancellations, etc., you are welcome to use the emergency line. Please note that this number is for emergencies only and not routine flight bookings. We are charged a fee every time you call this number, and if you don't have an emergency, we will arrange for your luggage to be lost. See the prior policy. We require that you book all airfare with a minimum of 14 days notice. Any travel booked less than 14 days in advance must be approved by management. All domestic flights must be economy or coach, but we will consider special requests, such as non-stop flights or specific carriers, as long as the fare is no more than $125 above the lowest logical fare. You may use your personal frequent flyer miles to upgrade at any time. As far as making flight changes goes, we only have one policy. No! It's really expensive to change flights, and we won't reimburse unless it's pre-approved. If a certain place has frozen over and you cannot avoid changing flights, changes must be made through the website or emergency line, and never through the airline itself unless you are paying for the change personally. In general, we do not allow flight banking, in which you save up trips for later in your project. Maetrics clients expect consistent travel expenses throughout the project, which accommodate flights every 2 weeks for domestic travel and every 3 weeks for international travel. Any deviation from this schedule must be approved in writing by management prior to booking. Do this. It only takes a couple minutes and it will save you lots of time when you're booking, and ensure that you get all your frequent flyer miles. Just go to myclickbook.com and go to Profile. No, you can't select the type of person who sits next to you. Perhaps on the next software upgrade. As a benefit to our long-term travelers, we offer 2 additional options for weekend travel. Alternate destination means instead of flying home on your scheduled weekend, you can fly somewhere else, like the Bora Bora trip you heard about in the earlier orientation video. Or instead of flying home, have someone special fly to meet you instead, like the friendly IRS agent who helped you with the mileage policy. Both of these options have some limitations which can be found in the Employee Handbook or talking with Altor. You will be responsible for any fare differences incurred by alternate booking. You will also be responsible for your meal expenses since you otherwise would have been at home. To book alternate destinations or travelers, you will need to contact Alltour and they will handle everything. The procedure for making hotel reservations depends upon the expected duration of your assignment. If you are on a long-term assignment, your lodging will be booked for you and you will receive your lodging information from Maetrics or Alltour. When your assignment is complete, you are responsible for checking out and notifying Maetrics that you have checked out. For short-term assignments, you will book your hotel through the ClickBook website. This site has already been customized to help you book hotels that comply with Maetrics parameters. Pay all hotel charges with your corporate MasterCard or a personal credit card. Be sure to get a detailed receipt and submit it to expenses@maetrics.com with your expense report. Reminder that we do not cover movies or minibar charges. Next, let's look at the Maetrics policies on car rental. As a general rule, if you live within 200 miles of your client location, we expect that you will drive your own vehicle. Beyond that, you will be renting through the special corporate rates Maetrics has negotiated with the rental car agency. If you're on a long-term assignment, your monthly rental car will be booked for you and you will receive details from Maetrics or Alltour. At the end of your assignment, you are responsible for returning the vehicle and notifying Maetrics of the return date. For short-term assignments, you will book your car rental through the ClickBook website. This site has already been customized to help you book cars that comply with Maetrics parameters. Would you like the optional insurance coverage? No! When traveling in the United States, you should decline any insurance package the rental company offers you. Maetrics has you and your rental car covered. If you have an accident, please contact the corporate office immediately, and please drive safely. If you are a subcontractor, Maetrics is not responsible for you or your rental car. Your firm must provide your auto liability insurance coverage, but they cannot do so through the rental car policies due to cost. Most rental car charges are direct billed to Maetrics. If yours was not, please pay them with your corporate MasterCard or a personal credit card, and be sure to get a detailed receipt and submit it to expenses@maetrics.com with your expense report. If you need long-term parking at either your home airport or destination airport, you can usually make convenient space reservations on the ClickBook website. Wherever taxis, subways, shuttles, trains, or light rail are an option, we encourage you to use them. They are usually less expensive and help you avoid getting lost or struggling to find a parking space in a strange location. Please keep track of all receipts for fares, tickets, or passes. For vacations that you take away from the client's site for 5 days or more, please contact the Maetrics corporate office prior to your break. They will work to determine the best arrangements for your hotel room and rental car, which may require you checking out or returning your car during your vacation. Likewise, prior to the holiday break in December, the Maetrics corporate office will contact you. You may be required to check out of your hotel room and/or return your rental car during this time. That concludes this overview of Maetrics travel policies. Are there any questions?
How can I contact Alltour for alternate travel options?
You can send them an email or call this 800 number.
Can you go over those mileage restrictions one more time?
Business transportation expenses are defined as costs incurred for business transportation between your tax home and temporary workplace. Travel to a business meeting away from your regular workplace and travel from one workplace to another in the course of your business. Local commuting travelers will be reimbursed for mileage to and from a temporary workplace that exceeds 50 miles each day. Commute mileage. You may submit expense reports only for the miles driven over 50 miles in one day. If you are a local commute, employees assigned to work at a Maetrics office are not eligible for any mileage reimbursement to or from their tax home. Overnight travelers that drive their personal vehicle to a temporary workplace and stay overnight do not need to deduct the 50-mile commute mileage amount from their total mileage on their expense report. The 50-mile reduction is also not applicable to the miles driven from your home to from an airport for overnight business travel. Personal vehicles should generally not be used for any business travel over 200 miles in one day unless you are staying at your destination for an extended period. Short-stay, long-distance driving should generally be done using rental vehicles to minimize cost. Mileage reimbursement will be limited to the lesser of the current Maetrics mileage reimbursement rate or the daily cost of a mid-size rental car plus gas, assuming 25 miles per gallon.
Great, thanks!
Thank you for watching this video about Maetrics travel policies. If you have any questions that weren't covered, please refer to the Employee Handbook. Or you can also refer to the other videos available here, or contact us if you need further clarification. If you are ever unclear about any of our policies, standards, or procedures, please don't hesitate to reach out to Human Resources. They are here to help you. Thank you again for your time and attention watching this important video. Have a great week serving our great clients, and safe and happy travels.